You knew in your heart that the song was special, the person who you wanted was special. What was, you just mentioned the receipts that you had, the text message. Well, what did that say?
I'm like, this is a Grammy.
You said what?
I said, this is a Grammy.
The legal storm surrounding Lil Durk has intensified as a shocking new video has emerged, further complicating an already complex case. The footage, which is rapidly circulating online, reportedly shows the rapper aboard a private jet with an alleged hitman. This revelation has added an unexpected twist to the accusations surrounding Lil Durk, whose life and career are now under intense scrutiny. Facing federal charges that could potentially lead to a life sentence, the Chicago rapper is accused of masterminding a murder-for-hire plot against rival rapper Quando Rondo, allegedly as an act of revenge for the 2020 murder of his friend and fellow artist King Von. The new video and the federal charges against him are only increasing the pressure on Lil Durk as he navigates this legal nightmare. The case, which is quickly becoming one of the most talked about legal dramas in the music world, has taken a dark and dangerous turn. Lil Durk, who has long been a key figure in the hip-hop scene, is facing accusations that not only threaten his freedom but also his reputation. The 2022 murder-for-hire plot, according to investigators, was allegedly orchestrated by Durk and his associates as retaliation for King Von's tragic death. Many in the hip-hop community and beyond have speculated that the animosity between Lil Durk and Quando Rondo had been building for years, with the murder of King Von in 2020 being the catalyst for this deadly escalation. The FBI affidavit, which was filed by agent Sarah Corcoran, outlines a chilling narrative of revenge and calculated planning. The document claims that Lil Durk put a bounty on Quando Rondo's life, allegedly attempting to have the rival rapper killed in a meticulously planned operation. The affidavit includes several details that suggest that Lil Durk used his influence. As investigators dig deeper into the case, more chilling details are likely to emerge. The combination of flight records, witness testimonies, and the newly surfaced video paints a damning picture of a man who may have been consumed by grief and rage, leading him to allegedly orchestrate a violent act in the name of revenge. If the federal charges hold, Lil Durk could face a lengthy prison sentence, with some reports suggesting that a life sentence is possible due to the severity of the charges. Influence and resources within his OTF, only the family collective to organize the plot. According to the documents, Durk's associates played crucial roles in carrying out the murder-for-hire scheme, with multiple flights and ticket purchases linked to Lil Durk and his OTF members, possibly to facilitate the alleged hit. The video that has surfaced only adds more fuel to the fire. Reportedly showing Lil Durk and an alleged hitman on a private jet, the footage suggests that the rapper and his associates may have attempted to flee after the plot was uncovered. While the exact timing of the video remains unclear, it has raised additional questions about the rapper's involvement and his attempts to evade law enforcement. The video circulation has only intensified the public's fascination with the case, and Lil Durk now faces not only legal peril but also a damaged reputation in the eyes of his fans and the public. This is not the first time that Lil Durk has found himself at the center of controversy. Before his arrest, the rapper was already dealing with the emotional toll of King Von's death. The murder of his close friend and collaborator in late 2020 sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world, particularly since it was allegedly linked to Quando Rondo, a figure whom Durk had feuded with for years. In the aftermath of King Von's tragic death, Lil Durk became embroiled in a public feud with Rondo, leading to further animosity and public back-and-forths between the two artists. Durk had already been facing intense emotional and psychological strain following the loss of Von, and now, with the federal charges hanging over his head, the pressure has only increased. The rapper had been publicly grappling with his grief, often channeling his pain into his music. Songs like Backdoor and Ain't No Way reflected the anger and hurt he felt, but behind the scenes, this emotional turmoil was allegedly manifesting in dangerous ways, including the creation of the murder-for-hire plot. For many, Lil Durk's legal troubles are a tragedy. Countries like Switzerland and Italy have strong extradition treaties with the United States, meaning Lil Durk could have been swiftly returned to face charges. Additionally, attempting to flee would have nullified the statute of limitations for the crime, allowing authorities to pursue charges indefinitely. Perhaps most damaging, fleeing could have led to a harsher sentence, as judges often interpret such actions as an admission of guilt or a lack of remorse, decreasing the chances of receiving leniency during sentencing. In this case, Lil Durk's reported attempts to flee may have already impacted his legal situation in significant ways. A consequence of the deeper issues plaguing the hip-hop world, including the cyclical violence that often accompanies the rivalry culture within the industry. For Lil Durk's fans and the wider hip-hop community, the stakes couldn't be higher. The rapper's career, which had been on an upward trajectory, is now at risk of being derailed entirely. In the months leading up to his arrest, Durk had been enjoying significant commercial success with hit albums and collaborations with some of the biggest names in hip-hop. However, with this new video and the federal charges looming, the public image he has worked so hard to build is now under threat. The legal battles ahead are not only a personal crisis for Durk, but also a broader reflection of the dangers and tensions that exist within the hip-hop world, where violence and rivalry often spill into real-life consequences. In the coming weeks, as the case progresses, more details will likely emerge, shedding light on whether Lil Durk was truly involved in the plot or if there has been some level of misunderstanding or manipulation at play. However, for now, the rapper stands at the center of a high-profile legal battle that could reshape his future in the music industry. With everything now under intense scrutiny, it is clear that the stakes are higher than ever for Lil Durk, and the coming months will determine the future of both his career and his personal freedom. Reports suggest that Lil Durk attempted to flee the United States in a bid to avoid federal authorities. Prosecutors outlined his elaborate efforts to throw off investigators, claiming he booked several flights to confuse them. 2 one-way commercial tickets to Dubai and Switzerland were purchased but never used. His third attempt involved a private jet bound for Italy, but just an hour family OTF to coordinate the violent retaliation that has now landed him in court banks, along with 5 alleged co-conspirators: Cav London Grant, DeAndre Dondrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Houston faces multiple charges, including conspiracy to use interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, use of firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death, and possession of a machine gun. The defendants are accused of carrying out a coordinated plan to murder Quando, referred to in court. Or before takeoff, FBI agents intercepted him at Miami's Opa-locka Executive Airport. Federal sources have described these actions as calculated with the intention of evading capture and throwing off the investigation. Not everyone agrees with this version of events, though. Bradford Cohen, an attorney who has represented Kodak Black, raised doubts about the validity of these claims. He suggested that the flights may have been booked simply as a precautionary measure to check for any outstanding warrants rather than a real attempt to flee. Cohen also pointed out that traveling to countries like Switzerland or Italy, both of which have strong extradition agreements with the U.S., wouldn't be a smart choice for someone trying to avoid prosecution. The drama surrounding the case has extended far beyond just the legal battles. On October 24th, 5 men linked to OTF were arrested in Chicago in connection with the alleged murder for hire plot. The arrested individuals were identified as Cav London Grant, 28, known as CZ, or Vonnie DeAndre Dondrell Wilson, 33, known as D. Keith Jones, 33, known as Flocka David Brian Lindsay, 33, known as Brown and Assy Houston, 36, known as Boogie. These men are facing charges outlined in a 4-count federal grand jury indictment, with Jones also facing an additional charge for possession of a machine gun. Before his arrest, Lil Durk's music and public statements seemed to hint at his awareness of looming legal troubles. Fans have pointed to the eerie foresight in his 2022 track Federal Nightmares, which has gained even more attention since his indictment. The chorus of the song, with its haunting repetition, stands out: delete my iCloud if I think they really on me. When trial come, it ain't your phone, it be your homie. He on the stand with his head down like he don't know me. It ain't no point in no. These lyrics, reflecting concerns about betrayal and the legal system, seem almost prophetic in light of the charges against him. Getting lawyer if your homie told has been called a premonition of the rapper's current circumstances. One user commented, Lil Durk really predicted his own future with this song. The lyrics have sparked debate about whether Durk's art mirrors his life too closely. Jet was scheduled to depart. Prosecutors argue this was a calculated attempt to flee jurisdiction, while his defense team maintains that the bookings were precautionary measures to check for active warrants. The government's case is built on a substantial body of evidence, including financial transactions, the use of OTF credit cards to pay for flights, hotels, and other logistics tying the defendants to the plot, surveillance footage videos capturing the conspirators trailing Quando Rondo's vehicle across Los, and whether his music inadvertently foreshadowed his downfall. Just weeks before his arrest, Lil Durk announced a significant milestone: his criminal record had been wiped clean. On September 22nd, the rapper took to X, formerly Twitter, to share his joy over the Lil Durk described the expungement of his record as a second chance at life, saying, "Everybody should get second chances at life. It's about what you do with it. Alhamdulillah, my background wiped clean of all cases. I ain't a felon anymore." He also expressed heartfelt thanks to those who supported him. Durk's journey through the criminal justice system has been long and filled with challenges. His legal troubles date back to 2011, when he served 3 months for a weapons charge. In 2013, he was arrested again for unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. These past experiences shaped both Lil Durk's music and public persona as he worked to rise above his troubled history. His announcement about clearing his record marked a turning point, symbolizing his desire to leave his past behind. However, the timing of his indictment for the alleged murder for hire scheme has cast a shadow over these efforts, making it seem as though his second chance was short-lived. Meanwhile, the case against Lil Durk is becoming even more complicated by allegations of further involvement in criminal activities, adding layers to an already complex legal situation. The case has become even more troubling with allegations of witness intimidation. According to the affidavit, witnesses connected to the investigation and their families have been threatened. Federal prosecutors have chosen to keep the identities of these witnesses confidential due to serious safety concerns. Such allegations suggest an attempt to obstruct justice, which could lead to additional charges. Witness tampering is a federal crime with severe penalties, and the involvement of threats only adds to the gravity of the situation. As Lil Durk and his associates await trial, the legal road ahead is looking increasingly complicated and uncertain. The legal road ahead is daunting for Lil Durk. The evidence outlined in the affidavit, including financial records, flight bookings, and witness testimony, presents a strong case for federal prosecutors. Lil Durk now faces a federal trial with serious implications, accused of orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot. At the center of this case are allegations of interstate criminal conspiracy, firearm violations, and the tragic death of an innocent victim. Federal prosecutors, armed with extensive evidence, argue that Lil Durk used his position as the leader of the rap collective Only the Family OTF to orchestrate the scheme. Documents as a row to Banks. This feud is rooted in the 2020 murder of Banks's close associate and OTF member King Vao. The indictment and supporting FBI affidavit detail how the plot was carried out. Prosecutors claim Banks offered a bounty on Quando Rondo, promising monetary rewards and music opportunities through OTF to those willing to take part. The plan was initiated in August 2022 when OTF associates learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. Grant Wilson, Lindsey Houston Jones, and another unidentified individual referred to as co-conspirator 2 were all implicated in the scheme. Traveled from Chicago to California on flights purchased using an OTF credit card. Grant allegedly rented a hotel room in Los Angeles for the group, procured vehicles, and purchased ski masks to conceal their identities. During the operation, surveillance footage captured their movements as they followed Quando Rondo across Los Angeles using two vehicles, a white BMW and a white Infiniti, with a fake license plate. On August 19, 2022, the conspirators tracked Quando Rondo to a gas station near the Beverly Center. 3 gunmen exited the Infiniti and opened fire on Quando Rondo's vehicle. Instead of hitting their intended target, they struck and killed Elab, Quando Rondo's family member, who was standing nearby. 18 shell casings were recovered from the scene. Surveillance footage showed the gunmen fleeing the area in the Infiniti BMW believed to have been used to scout the area departed shortly before the shooting. Later that day, the defendants, the group, allegedly regrouped at a hamburger restaurant in Los Angeles to discuss payment for the attack, with flights then arranged for them to return to Chicago, again using an OTF-linked credit card. Prosecutors claim that Wilson facilitated payments to Jones and Lindsey for their roles in the shooting. Lil Durk's involvement as the alleged mastermind of the plot is at the core of the case. Court documents describe him as the leader of OTF, an organization that, while publicly presented as a music collective, is accused of operating as a criminal enterprise behind the scenes. Criminal enterprise, according to the FBI. OTF associates engage in violence, including murder, under Banks's direction to maintain status and control within the group. Evidence tying Banks to the plot includes financial records showing that flights and hotel bookings for the conspirators were paid for using OTF funds, text messages from Banks advising his associates not to use names linked to him when booking flights, surveillance footage videos capturing the conspirators trailing Quando Rondo's vehicle across Los Angeles and fleeing. Witness statements have placed Lil Durk in California at the time of the shooting, which occurred in October 2024. Federal agents executed search warrants in Chicago, apprehending Grant Wilson, Lindsey Jones, and Houston. However, Banks was not among the initial arrests. Investigators later uncovered that he had booked 3 international flights, a one-way ticket to Dubai, a one-way ticket to Switzerland, and a private jet to Italy. Banks was ultimately intercepted at Miami's Opa-locka Executive Airport just hours before his private jet was scheduled to depart. The evidence continues to mount against Lil Durk, with communications and text messages between him and his associates revealing coordination in the plot. Banks, reportedly advising others on how to avoid detection, is central to these efforts. Witness testimonies, though their identities are withheld for safety reasons, have corroborated many details. The indictment documents do not explicitly name the informant, but widespread speculation points to OTF member Jam Jam Jam. A longtime OTF affiliate, Jam Jam was released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder. Reports suggest that shortly after his release, he began cooperating with federal authorities, wearing a wire and gathering evidence on Lil Durk's alleged criminal activities. The information Jam reportedly provided includes details on the planning and financial arrangements of the alleged plot, including how OTF credit cards were used to facilitate the operations, details of the conspiracy. If convicted, Banks and his co-defendants face the possibility of life imprisonment. For Banks, this case represents more than just a legal battle, it's a personal and professional reckoning. Known for his resilience and his ability to channel personal struggles into his music, Lil Durk's future now hinges on the outcome of these legal challenges. Lil Durk has often channeled his personal struggles into his music, and he recently celebrated having his criminal record expunged, calling it a second chance at life. However, the serious charges he now faces threaten to overshadow this milestone. The upcoming trial will not only determine his legal fate but also test the durability of his public persona. Known for lyrics that reflect the harsh realities of his upbringing, Durk blurs the lines between art and real-life experience. Tracks like Federal Nightmares, with lyrics that eerily mirror his current legal troubles, have sparked debate about whether he foresaw his predicament or if his music unintentionally predicted it. The trial also raises broader questions about the intersection of fame, loyalty, and criminality within the hip-hop industry. While OTF has been celebrated as a platform for artistic expression, the allegations suggest a much darker side to its operations. The case highlights the struggles artists like Lil Durk face as they try to navigate the pressures of their past while building a public career. For both fans and critics, the trial represents a pivotal moment in Durk's career. It will determine whether he can maintain his position as a leading figure in the industry or whether his legal troubles will overshadow his musical legacy. The plot continues to thicken as whispers of a potential betrayal within Lil Durk's inner circle emerge. Speculation is rife that a trusted member of OTF, someone Durk had relied on, may have turned informant and provided crucial evidence to federal authorities. Fans suspect that this alleged act of disloyalty could have been the catalyst for the increased surveillance on Durk, ultimately leading to his arrest during his attempted flight. Ironically, the loyalty Durk once placed in his circle now seems to be unraveling, potentially reshaping the narrative of his career and legacy. Lil Durk's response to the growing suspicion of betrayal was striking. He said, "Somebody just came in my house. How do they know exactly what the address is? I don't give my address to nobody." This statement hints at the deep mistrust brewing within his inner circle. 50 Cent, reflecting on his own past struggles with entourages, humorously compared Durk's situation to his own, asking, "Where were you at on Thursday at Thada? If you got pulled over and you're not in jail, why are you not in jail? Why are you not in jail?" His comments underscore the inherent risks of trusting the wrong people, especially when navigating a high-profile career like Durk's. This cooperation has raised questions about loyalty and betrayal within Durk's circle. Jam's cooperation with authorities reportedly provided crucial details about how OTF credit cards were used to book flights and arrange logistics for co-conspirators traveling from Chicago to California. He also gave information about how OTF associates tracked Quando Rondo's movements in Los Angeles, outlining overt acts such as the purchase of ski masks, the rental of vehicles, and the acquisition of firearms, including a fully automatic weapon. This evidence has been instrumental in building a strong case against Lil Durk and his alleged co-conspirators. The betrayal by Jam, someone once trusted within OTF, has dramatically shifted the course of the investigation and raised the stakes in the case. Jam's cooperation has sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, sparking intense discussions on social media and in interviews with notable figures. These conversations have highlighted the complexities of loyalty and survival in such high-stakes environments. Chicago rapper King Yella claimed he heard Jam implicate Lil Durk in the murder. The gravity of these charges underscores the high stakes as Lil Durk's fate hangs in the balance, with the trial date set for January 7, 2025. As the trial approaches, rumors circulating on social media platforms like TikTok have added another layer of sensationalism to the case. Some posts speculated that Lil Durk could face the electric chair, sparking widespread concern among his fans. However, these claims were quickly debunked as California, where the charges are filed, does not permit capital punishment. This clarification has helped ease some of the public's anxiety, but the case remains a source of intense speculation. Of Quando Rondo's cousin, Alab, as part of the broader retaliation for King Von's death. King Yella stated, "I heard somebody named OTF Jam. They said they've been calling him a rat. And basically he said, okay, I'm a rat. Well, watch this, that, all this." This revelation has added further fuel to the ongoing debate about loyalty, betrayal, and survival in the rap world. On October 28th, a video posted on X featured a conversation between Trench's News and DJ Academics, where Trench alleged that Jam's cooperation with authorities began after Lil Durk ignored calls for legal assistance from Jam's family. Trench explained the fragile dynamics of loyalty in such circumstances, saying, "If you participate in a crime, you got to feed the killers, man, you got to feed them all." This commentary sheds light on how financial or emotional grievances can lead to betrayal, highlighting how loyalty can quickly unravel when personal needs and relationships are overlooked in high-pressure situations. Fractures within in such organizations. Amid these revelations, a 2023 interview with OTF Jam has resurfaced, offering a glimpse into his relationship with Lil Durk before the fallout. Speaking with DJ Jerry, Jam reminisced about the early days of their friendship that was brought back before the fame. and the money, he said, describing how Durk's music motivated him during his 12-year prison sentence. However, this nostalgic portrayal contrasts sharply with recent allegations. While Jam did not address his cooperation with authorities in the interview, his reflections highlight the complex personal dynamics that often intertwine with criminal accusations. OTF, formed by Lil Durk in 2010, rose to prominence as a key player in Chicago's drill music scene. Originally affiliated with French Montana's Coke Boys label, OTF later became independent and built a reputation for its gritty street-inspired music. However, prosecutors now describe OTF as a hybrid organization that blurred the lines between music and alleged criminal activity. They claim the group operated as both a rap. Before his arrest, Lil Durk's music and public statements seemed to hint at his awareness of looming legal troubles. Fans have pointed to the eerie foresight in his 2022 track Federal Nightmares, which has gained even more attention since his indictment. The chorus of the song, with its haunting repetition, stands out: "Delete my iCloud if I think they really on me when trial comes." The speculation surrounding the case highlights the heightened public interest, but the reality remains stark. Even without the death penalty, thanks to a 2006 federal ruling and a 2019 moratorium issued by Governor Gavin Newsom, a life sentence remains a serious possibility if Lil Durk is convicted. Durk has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his legal team, led by prominent attorney Drew Fining, is preparing for an aggressive defense. Fining, known for representing high-profile clients like Cardi B, NBA YoungBoy, and even former President Donald Trump, is set to challenge the prosecution's case with a determined strategy as the trial date approaches. Drew Fining's experience, including representing clients like Donald Trump, brings significant weight to Lil Durk's defense. However, the prosecution has raised concerns about the possibility of Durk attempting to flee before trial. Court filings revealed that he had booked 3 separate one-way international flights to Dubai, Switzerland, and Italy on the day of his arrest, suggesting a calculated attempt to evade justice. These allegations have led prosecutors to request that Durk remain in federal custody until his trial. A detention hearing is scheduled for December 2nd, offering another pivotal moment in this high-profile legal battle. Opportunity for his defense team to argue for his release before the trial begins. The legal trouble has had immediate consequences for Durk's reputation and public image. The village of Broadview rescinded the honorary key to the village that was awarded to him just days before his arrest. The village also terminated its partnership with Durk's Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, a nonprofit focused on supporting youth programs and community development. Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson justified the decision, stating, "Our public partners must reflect the uncompromising standards demanded by our residents." Meanwhile, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has faced questions about the $150,000 donation made to his political committee by Durk's company The Voice Touring in 2023. While some have called for the funds to be returned, Johnson defended the contribution, emphasizing the presumption of innocence and Durk's efforts to support social causes. "You're asking me if I should make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has." Lil Durk's upcoming album Deep Thoughts, originally set to release on November 22nd, has been overshadowed by his arrest, causing significant disruption to its rollout. Fans had eagerly anticipated the album, which now faces uncertainty due to the ongoing legal battles. This delay is particularly disappointing for those who saw Durk's music as a reflection of his journey toward redemption. His hit song All My Life, which includes lyrics about overcoming struggles and seeking a brighter future, resonated deeply with listeners. Now, with the album's release on hold, fans are left wondering how his legal situation will affect both his career and his art. Lil Durk's efforts to reshape his public image, including sitting with politicians and striving to present a more positive persona, marked a significant turning point in his career. However, the current charges he faces threaten to undo much of that progress. Durk's philanthropic work, especially through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, has been a cornerstone of his image as a community leader. He has hosted financial literacy events, supported youth programs, and collaborated with local leaders to create opportunities in underserved communities. The foundation's partnerships and projects, including events attended by Chicago officials, have reinforced his commitment to positive change, making the ongoing legal battles all the more complicated for his public persona. Lil Durk's efforts to showcase a more socially conscious side of himself, such as working with former Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx, highlighted his commitment to positive change. His Neighborhood Heroes Foundation played a key role in this transformation, supporting community programs and youth initiatives. However, his arrest and the subsequent fallout threatened to overshadow these accomplishments. The decision by Broadview officials to sever ties with the foundation reflects the growing skepticism surrounding Durk's commitments amid the serious allegations. Now, Lil Durk's future hinges on the outcome of his January trial. If convicted, he could face life in prison, bringing an abrupt end to the promising shift in his career and public image. Lil Durk's career, which has greatly influenced Chicago's drill music scene and the global hip-hop industry, now faces an uncertain future. Even if acquitted, rebuilding his reputation will be a monumental challenge. The canceled partnerships, delayed album, and intense public scrutiny have already caused significant damage. Regaining trust from fans and collaborators will take more than just time. It will require concerted effort and significant change. For now, the rapper remains in federal custody, awaiting his day in court. His story, one of talent, resilience, and controversy, has reached a critical juncture, leaving fans and the hip-hop community wondering what lies ahead for Lil Durk and his embattled legacy. For more content like this, click on the videos showing on your screen now.